Well, I wasn't going to do a video today or tonight, but my mouth is so dry I can't sleep. I may as well get up and do my video for today is what, Wednesday, the 9th. I hope that's true. I think it is. And I, of course, did a B video and erased two videos earlier, yet actually, I guess yesterday or this morning, whenever it was. I took out two videos. No, I didn't save copies of them. Someone asked if I saved them. No, I didn't save them. They're deleted. The first time I've ever deleted videos that I recorded in my entire 5 years of making videos. Anyway, the title for today's video is Lessons I Learned from My Dad. And the blurb goes like this. My dad died at 54 years of age. He had never spent a day in the hospital until he was 47. In those 7 years, he had 4 open heart surgeries and 2 operations to remove scar tissue from his lungs. The coffee table next to his chair was half full of prescription medication, at least 12, possibly more. Every one of them had side effects. He was never able to lead a normal life. That is not a pattern I choose to follow. Not ever. Now, the reason I'm making this video, besides the fact that I have a pasty mouth, and I should have taken a drink of water before I started, I'll do it right now. That's okay. Yeah, it wets my whistle. I don't think I've ever done that on a video before either, so this is another first from Ron. In any case, the doctor today added some prescription medication. It added a couple of weeks or so ago, and then I realized they were salt replacement drugs. And when I saw that, I stopped taking them immediately because I have no intention of totally giving up salt. I use natural sea salt. What's it called? It's Celtic sea salt. And I use it in very limited quantity. And I choose that because it is healthy, not unhealthy. Living salt-free, to me, is very unhealthy. That's my opinion. It's an opinion. You don't have to agree with it. You can have your own opinion, but don't argue with me over it because it's useless. In any case, I watched as my dad slowly died. I watched as they kept adding another drug, and then another drug, and then another drug, until, as I said, the little table next to his chair was half filled with drugs that he took every single day of his short life, every single day till he died. He said goodbye on the 4th open heart surgery. He'd always said, see you later, previously. So for 5 operations, he said, see you later. The 7th one, he knew he wasn't going to make it. And he didn't. He didn't. He had a stroke that night of the operation and never regained consciousness. Although he did show signs of regaining consciousness when my brother, Tim, who became a missionary to South America, came and told him that he had turned his life over to Jesus. And at that point in time, my dad's body showed reactions that it hadn't shown previously. He was sending us a signal that he understood what Tim had done. And Tim, of course, became a martyr, killed by the drug lords, apparently, or maybe the government. Who knows? But my brother did not survive. And he died of, I don't remember how old he was, but he was young, younger than my dad, and it was murder. In any case, I have no intention intention of ever repeating what my dad went through. The doctor today added another medication, and he wants me to go for blood work at least once this coming week, or was it once or twice? I have to look at the paperwork. And I kept telling him, look, I don't want to take prescription drugs. I kept telling him, and he kept insisting that I take prescription drugs. Why don't I want to take prescription drugs? Not just because of what happened to my dad, but because I understand that prescription medications is one of the largest industries in the United States. One of the largest. Why is it so large? Because every single drug that is manufactured as a normal drug that's prescribed by doctors, every single one of those drugs has built-in side effects on purpose. On purpose. They're going to cause dry mouth, which I'm experiencing. They're going to cause other things to happen. Why? Because it's monetarily advantageous for the drug companies to get as many people hooked on their drugs as they possibly can. And there's no way out. There's no way out if you're going to be following their advice. The only way you're going to get out is to stop following their advice and stop taking their drugs. When I had my first open heart surgery over 12 years ago, I told the doctors point blank, I said, I will take your medication for 2 months. After that, I will wean myself off. Now, bear in mind that I was engaged at the time to a cardiac nurse with over 20 years experience as a cardiac nurse, and she totally supported my decision. She walked with me. She did all sorts of things to help make me better without the drugs. The side effects went away because I'm not taking that crap anymore, and I got healthy, despite the fact that they made a lot of mistakes in the first operation. Specifically, they made the mistake of not draining all the fluid out. And so I was over 200 pounds for all that time till my most recent operation, where I dropped down to 179 pounds. And now I'm up around 192, 3, somewhere in there, with clothes on and my wallet and everything. It's 194 pounds, and they want me to get down into the 180s again because I'm retaining too much fluid. Well, I'm going to continue to retain fluid as long as I'm on those drugs, because that's one of the side effects of the medication. Fluid retention. They give you something that's supposed to control the fluid retention. It doesn't work. There are natural substances, hawthorn being one of them, that can be taken. There's like 7 different herbs that can control the fluid retention in the human body. I'm going to be taking at least a handful of them myself. Fluid retention is the number one thing that I'm going after to stop. Now, I also want to go after the memory loss and the symptoms of the stroke, and that will come later. But I'm tackling first the fluid retention thing, because the dry mouth and the fluid that's in my body keeps me awake. I can never get more than a couple of hours sleep ever if I continue on the medication, simply because the medication makes me pee and poo every 2 hours or so, around the clock. Even they want me to take 2 a day, 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. 1 a day. I mean, I cut back. I was taking 2 a day for a little while until I realized I would run out before my son got back from his vacation. And so I cut it back to 1 a day, and I think next Monday is the last day that I will have one of those pills every 2 hours. You don't heal The body does not heal by only getting sleep every 2 hours. You need more sleep than that. I need more sleep than that. And I intend to heal, and I intend to take natural substances. I intend to totally wean myself off of all prescription medications. I do not intend to fill the current ones that he gave me, the ones that he gave me to replace salt are garbage, money that I never should have spent at all. I still have a pile of medical bills up there from various doctors, about $20,000 worth just from Shan's doctors alone. And that's not the surgeon who did it, who I guess did it for nothing, but all of his staff sent me bills. Now, I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to trust Western medicine. I'm going to take responsibility for my healing by doing what I feel is best, and I'm accepting guidance from those individuals who are schooled and trained in natural remedies. I want to be submitted and subject myself to healers of various sorts, but not allopathic medicine, Western medicine. That is a scam. It's a fraud, and I don't trust it. I don't believe it. Now, I'm not saying that every alternative medication is good for you. We have to be wise in this whole thing. We have to use discernment. But in any case, the natural remedies will not have the side effects that the allopathic medicines have built into them on purpose for profit. For profit. Anyway, that's where I stand, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to share some of the lessons I learned from my father's situation with his heart issues that he had. I don't really know the details of my mother's. She also had open heart surgery, which I honestly did not realize until relatively recently, but she stayed with my sister for a couple of years. And of course, some of my family doesn't talk to me because they're fundamentalist Christians and they consider me, I guess, something less important, less relevant than their narrow-minded Christianity. In any case, it runs in my family is what I'm telling you. And I'm making an exception to not follow the doctor's advice, to follow my own heart and my own guidance using alternative remedies. I thank you for listening, and this went much longer than I had thought it was going to go. And that's okay. May God bless each one of you, and I don't want to argue with anybody that feels that I'm wrong on this. You're allowed to express your opinion, but I'm not going to argue back. Thank you for listening. Namaste.